investors.
The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tiger Technician Hour with your host, Basil Chapman. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Now, Basil Chapman.
Good morning, everyone. Tuesday, December the 27th. Tiger Technicians Hour, Dow's down 77 at 33,125. Now, this is a very important moment because within the context of that double top that was 34,595 on the 1st of December, then it pulls back sharply, makes a U-shaped pattern, breaks the previous high by a little bit, 34,712 on the 13th, and then comes down and basically makes a one-to-one to the downside, sitting so many times on the 200-period moving average. I see signs, just some signs of residual strength, but the strength is useless if it isn't promulgated by higher prices that you can see. There's no use saying that there's some technical veracity here when in fact the price itself can't get moving. So you want to see the high today is 33,293 in the cash. It was higher than that in the futures. But you want to see 33,350 hit, and quite soon. So that's about 350. It's about 220 points from here to the upside. It needs to be done this week. It's an opportunity because there's a very light volume. If it can't do that, there's a chance that when selling comes back the first week of January, when the big buyers come back, they're going to say, ooh, that was really disappointing, and they're going to struggle to try to find something to buy. So this is a very important moment in terms of the Dow and numbers. And the numbers, I say, the 33,350 is kind of pushed there into the 33,000's comfortability rather than testing the 33,000 support. In the S&P, it's the same thing, kind of a struggle. Here, the chart is not looking anywhere close as I wouldn't say positive as the Dow, but as you can see in the Dow that there are definite support levels. In the S&P here, it's kind of empty because the stochastic is weak at 19%, the MACD is weak. The 9-period exponential moving average is at 38.63, and we're at 38.20, minus 24, a long way from that. And then you have to get to the pink line, that's the 9, and then go to the 14, the black line, which is at 38.85. And that weekly chart keeps getting repelled at that inside track repellent zone. So these are the levels we're looking at. 38, I would say on the day so far, the 38, the low has been, let me just move this across so that I can see it a little bit better. 38, there it is, 13, we're 7 points above that. Oh, I would say a break under 38.10 would be quite negative, but there are buyers coming in, and the reasoning, I think, is that if China just starts to get back, of course, they've got this huge COVID problem, they might not even let us know just how bad it is if people go to work and then you start to get another influx of COVID generated, let's call it losses in work, because people are having to get back home and they have to at least step aside from the workforce. Woo. QQQ, 1, 2, 3. There we go. Down quite sharply, down 380 at 263.59. Here again, a long way to go to be positive. There was a chance that just on the possibility, we had tried a long position here with a very, very tight stop, and it looked as if we could garner a little traction. There's no traction at all at this particular point. You might have to wait until all day to rebuild some kind of strength to get back to the 266 was the high, 266.85, to even touch 266. That'll be really important. And in the IWM, the Russell 2000, here's another thing we're looking at. Is it a possibility that with all the negativity that we're seeing in the general market, especially with the former leaders in the NASDAQ still not finding any traction to the upside, that the Russell 2000 starts to find some support. We'll look at this very closely, but right now they're down $1.25 at 173.13. 175.12 is the 9-period exponential moving average to move above. This is going to be very important. Gold has garnered a little more strength. It's now up 20 at 18.24. So I had a couple of questions. I'll deal with those questions now as we're looking at the general market. So the GDX moved off the 200-period moving average of 28.36. It's at 29.57 right now, up 69 cents. The weekly chart is saying, yeah, this is good. It's not great, but it's basically walking the 14-period moving average and 9-period moving averages, treating them as a kind of a trampoline just to push higher, or I would say a cushion rather than a trampoline, because they're not spiking. This is very good action. And when you consider that silver, I'm just going to the continuous contract, silver is just fractions away from the high that was made a few days ago. If it does that, that'll be G, but it'll be a G/C, G/B, and very positive. Leg D in the weekly chart did the one-to-one price. There we go, price. There we go, symmetry, and it's gone above that. Left side high that I was looking at, that isn't a high that you would normally pick. It's a candle that I chose of 23.62. That was the week of the 6th of May. And we've already gone to 23.52. And today's high so far is 24.05. Oh, is that correct? Did I do that right? 24.52. Yep, and today's high is 24.49. So we are real close to breaking out. That'll extend, that'll start leg E in the weekly chart. A very quick D to E says there are a lot of things to look at. If you're looking at, I'll go to high-grade copper. High-grade copper's had a nice move up today. It popped to a leg D, the missing leg D in the daily chart. Chapman wave, we're always looking for a buy signal to go to a buy mode. That says it should go to at least 4 higher peaks, peak A, peak B, peak C, and peak D. Now it's in leg D. Very good action. Let's just look, because I had a question over the weekend. Could I look at SCCO? SCCO, I just got that this morning as a request that was sent in. I didn't see it until this morning. Yeah, so Southern Copper, let me just do this real quickly. This is the low, right? You can always put an up arrow when it's a very sharp move to the upside. That means you're going back historically to look at what happened previously, and that makes it easy to do. Peak A, peak B, there's your peak C, and now we're just a hair away from leg D in the weekly chart. That's the high that I would have chosen as a left side, right side price symmetry. That was the 10th of June. High was 64.97. There's a little bit of a way to go there, but look at the daily. So let me do this. I'll do this live right now with Chapman Wave notations. I wanted to actually be ready to see if there was going to be a pop in the market. I think there is. Let me just go there right now. Yes, there it is. So the rectangle formation has been in place for a long time in various time frames. This is leg, okay, this might be the move that starts at least a decent rally attempt. This is the E-mini down only 17 at 38.62. There was a leg E down, trough E, maybe. Yep, trough E if it's in the 10-minute chart. I'll be back to look at SSCO and the E-mini.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Are you looking for a way to consistently add winning trades to your portfolio? Tom O'Brien is here to help. Tom O'Brien has been successfully trading markets for over 30 years. A frequent contributor to TD Ameritrade Network and CNBC, Tom O'Brien founded TFNN over 20 years ago to help educate investors just like you. Tom's daily market newsletter, Market Insights, is published every morning when the markets open to give you the competitive informational edge you need to succeed. These newsletters are packed full of Tom's advanced technical analysis and are geared to deliver comprehensive strategies for a successful portfolio. Get Tom O'Brien's newsletter, Market Insights, today and try all of our products and newsletters 30 days risk-free with our money-back guarantee at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com, educating investors.
TFNN has launched The Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
So I've just done this using the Chapman methodology. I try to identify, not merely, but you try to identify the lowest low and the bar that signals at least turnaround. That can go from a buy signal to a buy mode. And then you count each alphabetically, you count each higher peak, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but it's D, the fourth highest peak, where other things can happen. And lo and behold, what are we looking at here? We're looking at least in the SCCO, Southern Copper Daily, went to peak A, B, C, D, pulls back, starts a brand new A, B, C, D, pulls back, gets another peak A, B, C, D. I shouldn't put the down arrow in there because it is still a plus sign. It did not turn pink. And that says at 62.03, excuse me, we're looking at some kind of a retest of that high that was made at 63.16 on the 13th of December. It's a high-level consolidation. 1 penny above that actually starts leg D in the weekly chart. So it's acting very well. I would say the key support right now, it's at 62.07, is between 59 and 58 in the short term, and that it looks like it wants to go higher. Question came in, just a real quick question is, let's just see. Yeah, so I had drawn in during the break, I drawn in a couple of things. Number one, I drawn in a pop-up using this low right here in the E-mini to go to the left side highs of the 933, 934, 935 level. That was a time, that is, of 38.65. Well, as I was drawing it, it was trying to form a support level, and then it popped and it went to a leg C in a shorter time frame. I then have the next level, which I'd already drawn in, which said that by 10, actually I couldn't move it to the right, I didn't put enough bars in, that by 10, maybe 40, what's the time now? It's 10:25. By about 10:40 or so, there's a chance we could even test the high that was made at 9:23 of 38.75.25. All right, let's just leave it at that. Look, buy signal into buy mode. 9:14 cross positive. Now we're in leg D, doing very nicely. Okay. Now, I always talk about one-click sessions, that it could happen in the morning, and then you could click once. And if everything works out, you don't have to click the exit. You go in once, and you don't have to click the exit until maybe mid-afternoon, sometimes not even till the close. This could be one of those sessions. We've had a lot of selling, the selling pressure that occurred early on after being high, that much higher, when essentially there wasn't really bad news. There was a little bit more good news than bad news. Very disappointing to investors, at least traders. Now you've got rid of all the shorts. Now I think you can see some action on the long side. So since we saw the crossover at 38.45, let's say between 38.45 and even 38.51, we've had a really nice move up to the 38.69 area. I thought I'd take time this week to do a little demonstrating of some of the techniques that I like to use. All right, let's get back to our story. So that is SACO doing very nicely. Yeah, TGB, I haven't filled in that one. Just went to a leg D. Leg D in the daily chart, leg D in the weekly chart, leg B in the monthly. This is a very nice one. $1.55, up a penny today. So there's something else that was asked of me. Could I look at some of the stocks that are in the kind of metal or battery area? So if you're looking at, let's see, what is it? URNM, uranium, there's a nice move off the bottom. We actually have uranium stock is doing really well. But if you look at this, it's a tough sell, because each one of these technicals that looked like they were moving sharply higher only ran to a peak A or a B and then failed. Each time, peak B minus, there, right there, on the 12th of December, 12th, 13th, peak B minus. This time, we've got a brand new rally. The low of the 19th of December at 29.72. 29.72 was the low on the 22nd as well. So this is all leg A with a double bottom test, a perfect double bottom test. So at 31.55 right now, the uranium, this is called the Sprout Uranium Fund, I believe. What is it actually called? Miners ETF. It's the Miners ETF. Finally starting to show a little bit of strength, because this time, instead of deflecting lower like it did early in December, the MACD is crossed sharply positive. The stochastic is now 32%, actually acting a little better than it has on some of the previous rallies. We'll see where this goes. If we can get to the 3210 area in the next few days, that'll really help the stocks themselves. Now I want you to look at the TLT, just to show you that reversal. I thought I changed it. Oh, I did change it on last week, but then I had to shut down. Didn't want to, but I had to shut down because something. Oh, that's right. You remember I hit something, and the next thing I knew that the charts were all distorted, so I had to shut that down without saving. So I lost it. But that is a peak G in the TLT, the TBT. Look at the difference in the TBT. This is the inverse. Has gone peak A, peak B. It's in leg C. So all of a sudden you're looking at the TNX, which is the 10-year bond yields at 38.03. Whoa, big move. We're going from the 34 to the 38, 3.4 to 3.8 in yields. That's a big move. All right, so that's that. So other questions came in. DBA, for my overview on Saturday, I had another 1 hour overview. It's almost like a webinar that I try to give on the weekend. This weekend, I won't be able to do that probably until Sunday. I'm going to be away. So, yeah. In the meantime, what I discussed was that the DB Agricultural Fund, which we are long, DBA, had a really strong move. And that's one of the reasons is that corn has been acting so well. Look at this, corn. Peak A, leg B. This is fabulous. Yep, leg B. But the weekly chart says there's a lot of work to be done, but it has helped the DBA. And the DBA just hit the 200-period moving average of 20.27. We went to 20.28. This is really interesting because it's stuck in a rectangle formation, just like we've been looking at in so many of the different charts, but it could work its way all the way to the 20. Yeah, it could go all the way to the 20.7. I'll be back in a moment, and the other stocks that people want to look at.
If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my Gold Report. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Hi, folks. Now, I know that we were looking at this in the chart of Nike, which I haven't looked at today, but we'll look at in a minute. But PRQR, which I keep forgetting, PRQR is PRQR Therapeutics, NV. I guess that's a Netherlands, it's an overseas company. In leg B in the monthly, maybe it's an E, but I've got it as a B at this point, and a B that's a B in the monthly, and a potential B, maybe it's an E/B in the, that would be an F/B in the weekly, but this is fantastic action. So check out the 8-month island bottom on PRQR, trying to break higher, now over 3.10, and it can attempt to close the large gap, in my opinion. And then high Basil, couldn't you look at Costco? Yeah, we'll look at both good questions. So remember, we were looking at Nike, and I said I have a particular theory about it for years and years, actually not years, decades. where I look at the three, it's really the very next bar after a huge gap up or a gap down. It's really important. So on the way up, if there is a Nike, if it pulls back underneath the gap up low, and that's the day of the 21st where it gapped up and the low was 115.34, high was 119.18, it has just 2 days in which to get back in and close above. It's done exactly that. Above the left side low. And that really, I like 2 days. 3 days is already too long. And it did it within 2 days. The third day is made a higher high. So I'm looking at this and I'm saying, great. Nike looks to me like it could move to the high side, just take out the previous high, and that was the high of 119 point, what did I say, it was 60 something? 119.18. 119.18. Try and get into the 120s, and then use this entire rectangle. And I'm now going to go. I initially did it to the low of the gap up day. I'm going to the low of the following day, and that gives you your trading range. And at some point, it's going to get tired and fill some of the gap. So now that's the gap. That's the. I know Dave White talks about it as a 3-day rule. I like to look at it as within 3 days. I don't know if it's a rule per se because it's a little complicated. There are other things that go on. I stretch it out, actually. It's what happens within the first 2 to 3 sessions of the gap, and that doesn't include the gap day. It's after the gap, and it's the repercussions of what happens. If, in fact, it took out the low of the gap day, closed under it, and then the following session was weak, it says you can go at least halfway into the full gap. So now let's go to what we were looking at, PQRQ. PQRQ, it sounds like a PQ. Did I type that incorrectly? PQRQ? Oh, no. PRQR. I knew there was a switch there, PRQR. There we go. So this is the same thing as Nike. The reason why I brought it up, chart patterns repeat over and over and over and over again. So in this particular instance, at 2.92, up 19 cents, that huge gap from the 200 period moving average down to the 1.6566 area, where 3 days ago, it just powered through the 3 level, and then the following day had the same as Nike. It went under it and closed nicely higher, and today it's making a higher high. This is just 2 days. Remember, Nike was, this is the third session. So, oh no, I have to type that again, huh? So that is PRQR, PRQR. There we go. Sounds like a word in Scrabble. All right, here we go. We've got 2.90. So all I can say is that when you first of all, this is a biotech. In biotech, I mean, look at the down moves here. Look how long it's taken to even get to the halfway mark. It's not even at the halfway marker of the ugly candle of the week of the 11th of February, where the high was, it opens at 5.40. It goes to 6.15, 2 points higher. I mean, that's 40%. And then whoosh, it goes down to 1.33 and closes at 1.39. Ay. And now look how long it's taken. But it's a biotech. And Dan has done a lot of work on these biotechs. Don't worry, Basil. PRQR will become a household name. So with your analysis, I believe that could be true. There's no question about it. And it's a kind of a cumbersome thing. PER, ProQR, therapeutics, trying to be like I try to be sometimes very descriptive in the titles of my falling X formation. Oh, falling X formation. Where did I see the inverted falling X? Will we be able to get to it this morning? Well, I remember what it is. It's a stock that was asked about, and now I can't even think. I can see the pattern perfectly. I just can't see the title. All right. So in this particular case, it's doing very well. Now, here's the other side with both Nike and PRQR. If it's able to close above the high that was made on the 22nd of December, and now I know, Dan, you're talking, show me 1 minute charts, 2 minute charts, daily charts, weekly chart. You're talking long term. So I'm just excluding that for the moment. We're only talking at the daily chart. It says it can go above But this rectangle gap, if it didn't either Friday or today spiral into new high ground above the high that was made 3 sessions ago, it says probably we're looking at this rectangle formation. In this case, it's a large rectangle formation, not a narrow one. And there's a good chance that the high that was made right there on 22nd of December at 3.1 will be taken out. And then within a couple of sessions, it'll come back. How it holds the mid-range of this particular wick of the candle at 2.88 is going to be real important. I'm only talking near term. I'm talking about days. I'm not talking about months or weeks. If this week it doesn't take out the high that was made 3 sessions ago, that'll be a peak. I'm calling it for now a peak B in the weekly chart. Good. Okay. Next question I had was Costco. Now, this is very interesting. Here we go. I'm fascinated with Costco because it really is a quality company. I don't know about the bookkeeping or anything like that. I'm just talking about going there over the years. There are times where I don't go there. I don't go there for months, sometimes even a year. Other times, you remember there was a period where I bought the Kirkland saran wrap or whatever they call it. It's the Kirkland plastic wrap. And I used to write the date. There was 1 year, I went 1.5 years with the one Costco Kirkland wrap. And then the last one I had, which was about a year ago, because I haven't been more than once since then, I had run out after, I think it was almost 2 years. So obviously we don't do very much wrapping. But isn't that incredible? They have, and I always say that they have such perfect, the fruit fit into the plastic just perfectly. In fact, the tuna, I'm guessing that they've got these perfect cans that they drop into the ocean. It's only the ring of the can. And then the tuna has to fit by floating right through, get stuck. They cut it, then they put the lid on, and they put it in, and it's perfect. Just absolutely right there. I'm just joking. That's they get, but that's got nothing to do with this particular time frame and this period. And the period says that the high that was made at 612.27, April 2022, this year, has seen quite a drop to the 450s. And because of it, and each failure, it says that in terms of what's going on now, I would say that Costco, since at least December of this, since April of this past year, in some ways has been affected by this mini recession and is acting very poorly. I'll be back.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
All right, folks, we've got another couple of minutes to go to try to get to that level in the E-mini of 38.75.25. We're at 38.69 right now in another little leg B. But it did that first at peak D. The objective was always to get to a peak D. It did it great. Now it's just digesting these gains in a cup formation. All right, so in the meantime, I'm just going to mention this in case I run out of time. In the 10-minute chart, there is a chance that the low that was made at 38.37.25 is, in fact, a low that can see another 3 higher peaks to come in the E-mini. And doesn't tell you how high you need other technicals to do that, but I am looking at this as a peak A with strong technicals in the MACD, and the 9 has yet to cross positive, and that's going to be very important, and it's going to take quite a bit to do because that was a very sharp decline. It'll probably have to be 38.76 before it even crosses green. And the stochastic still weak at 58%. On-balance volume is running, and that's a good sign. So that's what I'm looking at. It'll completely fail if 38.56 is taken out and held for more than 20 minutes. That'll say, it's going to be a real tough hoe to row. And in the meantime, back at the ranch, a couple of questions that have come in after that is, yes, let me just finish with Costco. So Costco did a left side, right side price time match. That's bar symmetry. But it wasn't to your peak F, it was at the peak D right there. And most importantly, it came within pennies. Look, the low of the 13th of October of 449.03, we went to 452.50. That's pretty close. And now it's just a little minor peak A and a little minor leg B. And that just says that within the context of Costco, it's in a big digestive phase, and that I wouldn't be surprised. You see, there's a trend line here. These are not one of my favorite patterns, the V-shaped pattern or the pyramid or the pennant flag formation, because I prefer to look at it as the H pattern, because if it takes out the support, then this low that was made of 449.03 in October is liable to be tested. And that says that Costco could, in fact, like many in the retail, there's a wholesale, the Costco wholesale core, many in the, I never know what you call them. What are they? What exactly? Let me just do this real quickly. Costco. Let me just put Costco does, question mark. Welcome to Costco Wholesale. Electronics, computers, furniture, outdoor living, appliances, jewelry, and more. Warehouse prices. So name brand products. I don't know whether I can even call that because it's got Kirkland as well. Yeah. I'd like to just have a title. Grocery, household essentials. Things. I mean, household essentials. All right, let me put grocery, household etc. All right. So within that context, there is a pullback. Now you've had your seasonal holiday, all the buying that goes on there. Now we're back to the normalcy. So I just think that it's stuck in a range. So I'm just going to say it's at 462. I wouldn't be surprised if 471, in fact, is strong resistance, and it just stays kind of in this rectangle. It doesn't have to break down just yet, but it does look like it's making lower lows and lower highs. So the most important support will be, I would say, a close below 447. 447, that's 20-something points away from here, would be very negative. But right now, I think it's stuck in the range. Oh, someone just said, check your E-mini. Oh, there it is. So this is an A. This is another, no, that's a B right there. No, not right. That's a B right there. There's your B. And there's your B, and there's your C. And it's just done exactly what we were looking for. It's a little late in time because I wanted the bar symmetry of the low right there. So that says we're about 6 minutes late, but we're trying to get to that level. I love this action. This is sort of leg B in the, this is the reason why I wanted to go long, to add to some long positions and to go freshly long in the QQQ, a variation of the QQQ. But at the same time, I had such tight stops. I don't care. Tight stops are where it's at. I just didn't want to have a risk that it stayed at the lows of the day. Yes, we do have a stock that's up 2%, but this is not the point. The point right now is that it's so selective that you got to be. And the reason why I said, let's just skip some of the stocks that I really like at this particular point and just stay with the indices or just ETFs that we can handle. And that, to me, is a much better way of doing it. Okay, question came in. Could I look at, where was it? Tesla. I looked at it. Well, I don't have to look at Tesla because if some of you remember, I'd say the moment he started talking about Twitter, I said, that's it. That's the end of the focus on any CEO cannot be more than one major thing. Sometimes they're brilliant enough to do two. He was brilliant enough to do two, SpaceX and Tesla. I3 is impossible, and it's in an area that he's just not conversant. He's very conversant, but not conversant enough business-wise to be able to say, that's the place that I really understand, and I'm going to make a change. I think he's going to make a change, but it's taken so much energy from him. So I had said, I'm looking at Tesla. We were way up, I think, in the 300s, and I said, I'm not interested in Tesla. I think it's going down. I don't know why we didn't short it because it would have been just a perfect short. I just had it more as a socio-logical, economic, geopolitical issue. But mostly it was a CEO issue that no one can focus on two companies and add a third at the same time. Major change. Can't do it. So this is going down. It's 114 right now. I don't even want to look at Twitter until it gets to about between 90 and 80. And then I'm Twitter, Tesla. I don't want to even look at it. And then I think it might have something. But right now, not only is it Tesla, but you're looking at NIO, that's the Chinese company, acting quite AB. It made a CD, it made a peak D, now it's pulling back. You're looking even Ford with all the electrics that they promised that they're going to do, has made the Arch a full turnover from the high that was made at the 200 period moving average at peak G, and it came down from the 13s, and now it's trading at 1136. No, I think this, gentlemen, you can just go right through each one. And what's fascinating to me is that Toyota, so let's look at General Motors, Toyota Motors, TM, look at each one of these is doing the arch formation. Toyota Motors has said, we are going to mix things up. We're not going to go fully electric. We're still going to have, and yet even they have got the same chart patterns as the others. This is a tough market. This is for certain products, and it has to do with the chips. But I'm suggesting to you that at some point, there's going to be a glut in the chips. How it translates into helping the automobile companies, which is a different kind of chip, and helping all the other companies is going to be the big issue for 2023. Do we see a glut in chips just as all these major products that need chips don't really need them because people are not buying because there's basically a recession. I'll talk about that when we return.
Are you grinding in the market, but seeing little to no return? Or are you a successful trader simply looking to make your job a little easier? Learn to take the path of least resistance with David White's powerful trading newsletter. David White is an accomplished trader whose deep understanding of technology and the markets allows him to consistently find and share winning trades. Support and resistance define the ranges in which stocks trade. By understanding these trading ranges, David White is able to find the path of least resistance. David White's trading newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, is delivered daily before the markets open to make every trading day an easy win. Visit TFNN.com today and subscribe to David White's Ultimate Trading Newsletter for $119 a month. And try all of our newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Take the path of least resistance at TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com, educating investors.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Hi folks, we're back. Now a couple of things I want to just go through. If FXI, which is the China, this is the China iShares large cap ETF. If it can hold, it's at 28.94. It's up $1.15. To me, this is a very important sign because the weekly chart had already started moving up. You remember I said, hey, wait a minute. We had a call and I said, GT, who always sends me emails, had a whole bunch of call positions on FXI and NEO and FXEV. I don't remember what it was. There were a couple of others. That's right, the Internet ETF. And I said, I think that we're starting to see China come back with the COVID, letting people out but not saying anything. And then we saw the big move. So this is a very strong move in the weekly chart, and it's the first day of the week. It's a shortened week, but it's the first day. It's gone to an L in the weekly chart, meaning that at this particular point, not Friday at 4 o'clock where we need to make note, but right now, intra-week, we've got an L, meaning the weekly chart has gone positive. I suggest to you that if China actually holds, FXI holds well, I think it could start to move towards the 31 area. It's at 28.92 right now, and that'll help our market. So this is a very important period because if it starts to break under 27 and it's at 28.93 right now, that's not good at all. So treat this as some kind of a pivotal moment in the sense that if coming into 2023, we start to see, and it'll take them a long time to get back. It's just saying China's starting to get back. But if they do get back, I think by the end of January, beginning of February, there's a chance that we could get a pretty decent rally. We might get bounces up until then. I think sideways for most of January. That's what I'm doing, and I'll talk about it more tomorrow. And on Thursday, I'll do an 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock show, and then I'm not here Friday. So that's what I'm planning for the week, and I'll talk about the SMHs a little bit more, because this is the conundrum. Are they going to give us a glut and it doesn't go to the product? Or we'll talk about that tomorrow. In the meantime, hold tight. I'll be back with the news, and now it's up 87